My mother-in-law poisoned my husband, but what I found in her secret plan shocked me. So this is something I never thought I'd be posting about, but I'm genuinely shaken right now, and I need to get it out there. I've been married to my husband, Thomas, for 3 years, and over that time, I've had a rocky relationship with my mother-in-law, Patricia. I try to be polite, but something about her just rubs me the wrong way. It always feels like she's hiding something behind that perfect smile. For context, Patricia's always been distant with me. She's never truly accepted me as part of the family, and I've always felt like I was just the person who stole her son away. I thought I was just being paranoid at first, but it's been 3 years, and I can't shake the feeling that she's always looking for a way to undermine me. At first, Thomas stood up for me, but lately he's been brushing off her behavior, and that's made things even harder. Anyway, my birthday just passed, and Thomas and I were at home when a refrigerated package arrived at the door. It was a gift from Patricia, a box of gourmet chocolates from a fancy shop in Boston. Thomas was thrilled. "Wow, this is a really nice gift," he said, but I didn't feel right about it. Patricia's gifts are usually, well, not thoughtful to say the least. She once gave me a sweater 3 sizes too small, and another time a cake I was allergic to. Still, I smiled and thanked Thomas for his excitement. Later that night, Thomas devoured all the chocolates by himself. I didn't think much of it, but I noticed he seemed a little off the next morning. He was pale and looked like he had a slight fever. I figured it was just a hangover or something, but by the afternoon, his condition worsened, and I called an ambulance. When we got to the hospital, it turned out he was severely dehydrated and the doctors suspected food poisoning. I didn't immediately make the connection to the chocolates, but something about it felt off. I was still shaking by the time I called Patricia to thank her for the gift. When I told her Thomas had eaten them all, she sounded, well, weird. She asked, "Are you serious?" As if I just told her something more than a passing comment. Her voice trembled and I honestly couldn't understand why she reacted that way. The doctors ran tests and then it happened. The chocolates weren't just contaminated with food poisoning bacteria. They were laced with something more dangerous, toxins. As it turns out, Patricia and her daughter Vanessa were trying to poison Thomas, and I may have been the original target. First update, it's been a few days and I'm still processing everything. The doctors are saying Thomas is going to make it, but I can't shake the feeling that this is just the tip of the iceberg. I've been trying to piece everything together, his illness, the chocolates, and Patricia's strange behavior. When Thomas was at the hospital, I started thinking back to all the weird little things that had happened over the past few years. There were a lot of small incidents that I brushed off at the time. For instance, at our wedding reception, Patricia poured me a special glass of wine, just for me, and I got really sick afterward. I thought it was just bad luck or food poisoning, but now I'm not so sure. And there was that Christmas when I ate cookies she gave me and spent the next 3 days bedridden. Again, I just thought it was a coincidence. Then, while I was at the hospital, I noticed something strange. Patricia kept calling and texting, asking for updates on Thomas. At first, it seemed like a concerned mother, but after the chocolate incident, I couldn't help but feel like she was overcompensating. It was as if she knew what she had done, but wanted to make sure I didn't figure it out. I told the detective about my suspicions, and he promised to look into it. Then I got a call from Patricia, and she was almost hysterical, asking where Thomas was and why he wasn't answering his phone. I didn't answer her questions, but I was starting to feel that deep dread in my stomach, the kind of dread that tells you something is very, very wrong. Edit. I'm seeing a lot of comments asking why I didn't confront Thomas immediately, or why I didn't report Patricia sooner. Honestly, I was in shock. It didn't even seem real. I didn't want to believe my own mother-in-law could be capable of something like this. Now that I know, I'm doing everything I can to make sure Thomas is safe, and I'm trying to take things one step at a time. Second update. I'm not sure if I'm ready to believe everything yet, but the detective just confirmed my worst fears. They found traces of arsenic in the chocolates. It's clear now that Patricia and Vanessa had been planning this for a while. The detectives are still investigating, but I found something that makes it even worse. 2 weeks before Thomas was hospitalized, his work insurance changed. I didn't know it at the time, but when I looked over the policy documents, I realized that Patricia and Vanessa were both listed as beneficiaries. That alone wasn't enough to raise suspicion, but when I found out about the life insurance policy Patricia had taken out on my life, that was when I started putting everything together. Patricia had been planning to kill me. She was after Thomas's money, and I have a sinking feeling that she tried to do this before but didn't succeed. The police are now questioning both Patricia and Vanessa, and the evidence is stacking up. They found another life insurance policy on me, with Patricia and Vanessa as the primary beneficiaries. I can't believe what I'm hearing. I feel like I'm living in a nightmare. Edit. Some of you are asking how Thomas is handling all of this. To be honest, I don't think he fully understands yet. He keeps asking me why his mom would do something like this, and I'm not sure how to answer him. He wants to believe that his mom would never hurt him, but I think he's starting to see the truth. I'm just trying to support him the best I can. Third update. I wasn't sure I could do this, but I think I need to. The detective just gave me the most disturbing news. Patricia and Vanessa have been arrested, and it's clear that they were both behind the poisoning. The police found more than just the life insurance policies. They found proof that Patricia had been preparing to kill me for months. I don't know how much of this I can take. They discovered that Patricia had even taken out a second life insurance policy on Thomas with her and Vanessa as beneficiaries. The detectives are still piecing everything together, but the charges against them are serious. Attempted murder, conspiracy, and more. I can't believe this is happening. I'm still in shock. I feel like I'm in a bad dream, but I know I have to stay strong. Thomas is still recovering, and I don't want him to see me break down. Edit. Many of you are telling me to leave Thomas and move on. I'm still trying to figure out what to do. I love him, and I want to believe that his mom's actions don't reflect who he is, but I'm not sure how to feel anymore. Part of me is scared that this situation will never fully heal. A final update: this has been the hardest week of my life. Thomas is finally stable, but the emotional toll it's taken on both of us is overwhelming. After much thought, I've decided to stay with Thomas for now. He's still grappling with the truth about his mom, and honestly, I'm scared to see how he'll cope with all of this. I'm trying to support him as best I can. Patricia and Vanessa have been officially charged. The police found everything they needed to build their case, and Patricia is facing serious charges for what she did. Vanessa has been temporarily released, but the police are still investigating her role in everything. I don't know if I'll ever be able to forgive them for what they tried to do, but I'm starting to think about the future and what's next. Thomas and I are planning to move away from Boston and start fresh in a small town in Connecticut. I'm hoping that this will be a chance for us to heal, the clear chance for us to heal.